We started our trip on June 3rd and only made it to Jean, Nevada on the first day, where we spent the night in a casino parking lot. We parked our travel trailer right in amongst the 18-wheelers and had a great time. Now, this movie is actually about driving to Alaska, but our game plan called for us meeting our friends Bob and Joyce in Lake Louise, Canada, in Alberta, on the 25th, and we had left on the 3rd. So we slowly drove towards the Canadian border, taking in several national parks and spending a week in one of our favorite places, in Deer Park, on an RV golf resort. Anyway, we spent a day touring Zion, and that's what you're looking at now. Driving into Bryce Canyon on June the 6th, we got snowed on. Pulling a trailer through a snowstorm is not one of my favorite things to do. We had planned to stay in Bryce for 3 nights and only stayed 1 night, as the first night was down to 29 degrees. Dorothy and I got up very early and were out on the edge of the rim of the canyon before 5:30 in the morning, before sunrise. We wanted to get pictures of the red rock in the sunrise. It was colder than heck, but we got some beautiful, beautiful pictures. I can resist in about anything except temptation, so I just had to put Canadian sunset as the background music to these next few photographs. We crossed the Canadian border on the 24th, planning on an overnight stay on the way up to Lake Louise and arriving in Lake Louise on the 25th. Now I got to tell you a funny story. The directions to the campground at Lake Louise out of Trailer Life were totally incorrect. We got off on some highway. We didn't know what highway we got off on, but it was the wrong highway. We were 12 miles down the road before we realized that we were lost and needed to turn around. We pulled off the highway into a dirt pull-off, and there was a motorhome ahead of us that turned out to be Bob and Joyce. They were lost too. Both of us 12 miles from our destinations, both of us on the wrong highway at precisely the same time. What fun. There were two campgrounds at Lake Louise, one for RVers and one for tent campers. And they put the tent campers inside this electrified fence to keep the bears away from all the tent campers. So they actually built an electric fence all the way around the campground. So we walk clear to the back of the lake. And the mountains up here above are just gorgeous. Let's see here if we can zoom in on those. Okay, Dorothea wanted me to get the sound of the water here.
Look how it splashes on the side of the rock.
Okay, we're at Moraine Lake in the tip. The mountains in the background, just gorgeous. We made a day trip into Banff, just toured the town, went through some beautiful botanical gardens. Banff is quite a lovely place to visit. This bridge across the highway is actually for wildlife, so they can cross over the highway without getting run down.
Oh, I got him fixed it. Look, that's the last picture.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just along the highway going, I think it's the Yellowbeard Highway from Lake Louise to Jasper, and we came across this lake with a beautiful reflection. Dorothea said, I need to take a picture of it. There is a chalet over here that I will zoom in on, and you will be able to see its reflection on the water.
what's the name of this waterfall? Oh, Sun Wapatai. Highway 93, 20 miles short of Jasper. Directly below us on a bridge, and it is flat, coming through a narrow little slot there, up against that cliff, then down that way. We're just ripping through this gorge. And then it slows down as it spreads out there. Okay, the river coming down underneath this bridge through the gorge, and it is really just narrow. Okay, we got a little bush right here in front of us, but that is coming through a narrow little trough there that creates this tremendous waterfall. And I'm going to go up and try and get from another angle. It is just ripping. Now the bridge is right above it there. When you stand on that bridge, you can feel the vibration of the water pounding the earth. We're at another waterfall, and they got several bridges here. This is looking down in the gap at the bottom of the waterfall, or towards the bottom. But you can see the bridges. There's like 3 of them because we're on the third one here. And these are not the waterfalls, but beside the waterfall. And there is the waterfall right there. So we're going to go get over so we can get some better shots of it. We're standing over the top of the waterfall, goes down through this canyon, and there's more viewpoints down there. We'll zoom out there and we can see the other viewpoint. Dorothy was just saying that we can feel the spray, and yes you can. That's it coming over the top right there. Now the water's spinning around, created a cave here with some logs in it. Interesting that there's a little waterfall right by the great big waterfall.
I had to find out how I'm doing this again because it's only the second time I have used a video camera. Today is June 29th, it's still quite early. And I just thought I'm going to...
We're on the Yellowbeard Highway.
We are, like Chuck said, we are on the Yellowbeard Highway. There is still a cloud in front of the mountain. We have been taking pictures for miles and miles and miles, and I'm surprised at this time of the day that it's still there.
We arrived in Prince George. Just as we were pulling into our RV park, it started to hail, and it really started to hail. Look at all these hailstones on the ground.
Today is Canada Day, the first day of July, and it is not an Independence Day. It's just a celebration of being Canada. We're in a park for a concert. All right, let's see now. There is a Mountie right there, and full dress uniform. Here's the honor guard, with people walking between me and the camera.
And remove your hats. And please welcome to perform the national anthem, C.C. Hamill.
With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada.
Very sad, but the bark beetle is just killing off miles and miles of forest in Canada. They're waiting for extremely cold weather to kill off the bark beetle. Dawson Creek is the beginning of the Alaska Highway. We spent about 3 days in Dawson Creek getting ready for the trip up the Alaska Highway. It used to be called the Analcan Highway back in during World War II. Later turned over to the Canadians and renamed to the Alaska Highway. It's actually 60 miles shorter than it was in 1942, as they have removed a lot of the winding, twisty turns and built more bridges. So, this is the beginning of our trip up the Alaska Highway. Total of 1,422 miles.
Way up north, way up north, north to Alaska, go north, the rush is on. North to Alaska, go north, the rush is on. Big Sam left Seattle in the year of '92 with George Pratt, his partner, and brother Billy too. They crossed the Yukon River and found the Bonanza Gold below that old White Mountain, just a little southeast of Nome. Sam crossed the majestic mountains to the valley.
This was a celebration of the opening of a museum that is dedicated strictly to the Alaska Highway. They served a lot of good food for free and hot dogs, and quite a museum that they've built there.
1901, where the river is winding, big nuggets they're finding. North to Alaska, go north, the rush is on. Way up north, way up north. Alaska, go north, the rush is on. Way up north, way up north, way up north, way up north.
All right, this bridge was built during the road construction in 1942 by the Corps of Engineers, Army Corps of Engineers. And this is the old Alaska Highway, and the road is not been maintained. It is mean. A deep gorge there. But we did it. We took it slow. And there goes another RV going across. So a lot of people travel this short distance on this old historic road.
Okay, Chuck had made this sign of Chuck and Dorothea Laguna Woods many months ago, and today we have July 7th, 2007, and we are up in Watson Lake, and he's going to put it on the post so that the city of Laguna Woods will be on the map too in Watson Lake. And there is Chuck working hard to put the screw into the wood, just to see if that's straight. He put nail holes in prior to us coming. And pretty soon the finished product, oh, it looks good. I like it. Okay, there are Bob and Joyce with their sign, and the two of them just standing there looking pretty. Bob like a peacock, and Joyce very elegant. Okay, let's walk a little bit around here and look at some of these signs.
What's the difference between seeing and the camera?
Well, seeing made it.
I noticed there were a lot of signs here from Germany, but I still want to get the big one. Here is a sign, Berlin, Bezirk Spandau. But we are still looking for a bigger sign from here. 8 years ago, Chuck, Ian, and I came this way down to Teslin. It was also the month of July, except we had a sunny day and not this liquid sunshine, what we have today. And I filmed the entire ride over the bridge because it made such a great sound. I'm going to turn my window a little bit down and see if I can repeat the noise. It's bouncy this time. The noise still sounds the same. I'll remember this. Just showing some of the survivors.
Muckluck Annie's. Now, that is a great salmon bake. For having dinner there, you can stay in an RV park for free. No water, no electricity, but you can stay in the RV park right on the lake for free. And then in the evening time, customers can go out in this little boat in the evening time, and Muckluck Charlie will give you a running history of the lake and the area. And it's entirely free, with the exception you should tip the driver. So on our return trip back down, we also came through Teslin, and we stopped in there for my 70th birthday and had salmon bake again.
When the night winds blow up a swell, his heart is a feather in all kinds of weather. He sings his cattle call.
Dorothy and I did this 8 years ago. We have friends on board the boat, and we're going to take pictures of the boat going underneath the suspension bridge. But below us is the Yukon River, and it's quite clear and it's quite blue. Yet when you get down to Dawson City area, it has turned a milk color from the runoffs from the glaciers. It is running rather quickly here, because the canyon is so narrow, you can see both edges of it. The suspension bridge right here was built in 1922 by a couple of guys that charged, I think it was 25 cents for the miners to get from one side to the other. Coming around the bend. Yeah. Oh, I think that's... Alright, now they are right down. There's Bob. There's Joyce. And they're waving. The boat is making very, very slow headway against that current. I mean, it just very slowly creeping up there. There's the bridge, there's the boat. Yeah, barely moving against that current. But it is making headway. There's lots of people on the bridge taking pictures of the boat going underneath the bridge. Now they go up the canyon apparently for another 5 or 6 miles, so we're not going to stick around here and watch them come back through. But they should be having a lot of fun. Anyway, it's an interesting bridge, narrow canyon. And I forgot to say, the Yukon River starts 35 miles from the ocean and runs 4,000 miles before it gets to the ocean. That's a long ways.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very...
A lot of people don't realize that you have to go through the Yukon Territory to get into Alaska. The Yukon Territory is about the size in landmass as California, quite large. But what's surprising is the population of the Yukon is only 34,000. What's even more surprising that 23,000 of those people live in one city, Whitehorse. So the land of the Yukon Territory, when you get out in the wilderness, you are really out in the wilderness.
You on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves that it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. For you I know I'd even try to turn the tide. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line.
At the Kalani Lake, about 60 miles south of the border between the Yukon Territory and Alaska, we ran into some of the most severe road constructions that we came across. Now, the roads in Canada and the roads in Alaska were much better than previous years. They really have improved on it. But this section was under full-scale construction, rough, had to drive extremely slow, quite exciting at times. We did spend a couple of nights on, or at least one night on Kalani Lake. Winding road, but they have to take the hillside out to do it. And right now they're shoving dirt down the hillside, and then they'll run graders across that. And after the graders clean the road off a little bit, then we'll let the RVs go through. Now I'm going to try and zoom in on that thing. There we go. So anyway, that steam shovel is shoving dirt down the hillside, and that's the dust right on the edge of the lake here. Okay, now the vehicle up there is gathering up the dirt that has been thrown down the hillside, and it's pushing it over the side of the cliff here, down into the edge of the lake. So he's just scooping up great big hunks and dumping it over the side. It rolls down to the lake edge. See the rocks hitting the water. Anyway, after he's gotten the... Where am I? There we are. After he's got enough of that scooped off, then this road grader right there, I believe, will scrape it down so it's smooth enough for us to drive over. So anyway, that's the going situation. That's a bull moose.
I'm glad this thing has 30 optical. See if I can get the antlers there. That's pretty good. If I can hold this thing steady. Wow. Hope that focus is all right. Yep, I'm recording it. What the heck? Hi, folks.
Hi, Chucky.
Now my wife took a picture using the rear vision mirror on the car, catching me between the car and the trailer, and there's no way in heck I'm going to tell you what it was that I was doing.
The cattle are prowling, the coyotes are howling, way out where the dog is bone. Where spurs are a-jingling, a cowboy is singing this lonesome cattle call. Till his day's work is done, and he rounds up the cattle each fall. Singing his cattle call. For hours he would ride on the range, far and wide, when the night winds blow up a squall. His heart is a feather in all kinds of weather, he sings his cattle call. he sings with an old western drawl. Singing his cattle call.
So why don't we
Yeah, I don't know whether we can get that, but
get
there's
them closer on Sable Pass?
a bear.
That would be nice.
Okay. Really far.
I mean, that
Sorry.
good.
Out there maybe, or
Pardon me?
you decide if that looked like two sows and two cubs out there, you think?
You know something, I didn't have glasses to see, so I don't know if anyone was able to see them closer. With seeing with my naked eye, I couldn't tell what they were. So I don't know if anybody that had glasses maybe was able to tell. Binoculars or glasses. Could anybody tell what they were?
They look like two bigger ones.
And two little ones?
You wouldn't have a boar with sows and cubs.
Some more.
Well, even with 30 optical, I can barely fill the screen with him.
Now my friend Bob is into geocaching, and geocaching is where people go out and hide an object or hide a series of objects in like a tin can or a container of some sort, and then they go and record the longitude, latitude in times, minutes, and seconds, and place this object somewhere along a pathway, a dirt road, off the way, and it becomes quite a hobby. They post this on the internet, and then other people can go get the coordinates and they go try and find the object. Well, Bob did this in several places. This one that you're looking at now is a hollow tree near Lake Louise on a footpath, and down behind a piece of wood was a little plastic container, and inside the container is a bunch of little objects. So you record when you find it, and you go and post that on the internet. So Bob and I went out and we found several of these geocaches along the route, and Bob all entered them on the internet, the date and the time. What you saw was Lake Louise, and then on the Yukon River in Whitehorse, and this one right here was in Dawson City. We're on the Canine Peninsula, taking a tour from Canine and Soldotna. This is a mountain range across the bay from us. Very, very colorful. A little bit of sunlight on them. Long ways off. We'll zoom up here and see if we can't get a better view. Down in front of us is a net going out to the buoy for catching salmon. And to use a net like that, you have to be a resident of Alaska. Sport fishermen from out of state cannot do that. Okay, they're bringing the net in and removing the fish from the net. They can only fish from 7 in the morning till 7 at night and have to remove the net at 7 p.m. Now stop and remove the fish from the net and not damage the net, see?
You have to take it off one by one.
That's correct. They have to take them off one by one. Now what they do is actually take the fish from the net, and the net is going across the boat and dropping off the other side. So they're coming in one way and coming off the other. Well, my wife dragged me, yelling and screaming, to a botanical garden in Anchorage, Alaska. It was quite pretty. Driving into Valdez is just beautiful. You go past several glaciers. And once you're in Valdez, we just did excellent salmon fishing right offshore at Alice Point, right across the bay from the city of Valdez.
Alright, there's literally hundreds of them here.
These salmon were raised in a fish hatchery, and after returning from the sea, they're trying to return to the hatchery, and the nets prevent them from doing so. This is the oil terminal in Valdez, the end of the Alaska pipeline. We spent about 3, maybe 4 days in Valdez, just had a wonderful time. We suggested to our friends Bob and Joyce that they take a glacier cruise, and so they went out on a 9-hour cruise to the glaciers and took some wonderful pictures that I've put in here.
clopping over hill and lane. Seems as how they never stop. Clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity, 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 clippity clopping along.
Now everybody ought to visit Chicken, Alaska. It's on the Taylor Highway, or also called Top of the World Highway. But it is the road from Alaska back over into the Yukon Territory into Dawson City. And it's one hell of a road.
You train! Ha, ha, get along there! Clippity clopping through the wind and rain. Seems as how they'll never drop. Clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity, 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 clippity clopping along. There's some cotton thread and needles for the folks away out yonder. A shovel for a miner who left his home to wander. Some rheumatism pills for the settlers in the hills. Get along, you! Ha! Get along there!
Okay, we're in Chicken, Alaska. August the 6th. The town of Chicken and Dawson, 108 miles. Okay, we're taking a walking tour of old Chicken, Alaska.
This was the guest cabin by the mining company that was here in the 50s and 60s.
The old schoolhouse where somebody by the name of Tisha, and there's a book written about her.
A Bible in the pack for the Reverend Mr. Black. Get along, you! Get along. Get along, you! Get along! Ha! Get along there! Ha! Get along there! Get along, get along, get along, get along, get along. Yeah, get along there.
Okay, this is Chicken, Alaska. We visited 8 years ago, 1999. There were 4 buildings, gas pump, and 2 outhouses. There's Bob and Joyce. It's a pretty dog. And out in the background here, behind them, is a pretty horse. Okay, we're walking up to the Gold Dredge. This was moved from upstream down here into Chicken.
Oh, is that That was just unreal.
The road from Chicken, Alaska to Dawson City is 108 miles long, and the first 40 miles are dirt, potholes, and heavy rain. Top speed was about 20 miles an hour. Took us a little over 5 hours to just drive 108 miles. Did I mention that muddy roads are slippery? This one was slippery. Wow.
Dirt on the car. Man, we are filthy. And then we come to this little pickup truck. Now this is really good looking. It is quite dirty. And some mud down here. Man, this is really something. Down the hill to get on the ferry, to get across the river to Dawson City.
Yukon River.
It is, Chuck just told me it is a Yukon River, and I knew that. So we're just waiting here. Let's see where we have to go.
Okay, now that's the ferry boat right there, long ways across. It's going to come over and pick us up. And there is nothing more than a dirt landing. Let's see here. Let me back this off. The automobiles in one line, RVs in another line. Okay, now right down there, they just run it right up against the dirt right here and plop a long plank down. There you can see the long plank. They'll actually run the ferry boat right up here on the shore and lower that plank, and that's the way the vehicles get on and off. Our car is extremely dirty. From the first part of the trip from Chicken to the Canadian border, it was mud, 20 miles an hour. Bob right behind us. And Dawson City across the highway from us. This is how it turns almost upstream and brings it in. I wonder how many RVs that it can pull at one time. Bring in the plank. Okay. Just like that. Then run it straight into shore. And lower that plank down. Boom, there it goes. Okay, that's it.
Oh, this time the passenger car goes first. And we are being second. And we will be on the right-hand side. Hi.
Right over.
Oh, jeez. Here comes Bob. He's behind the passenger car. We are really surprised. Now this is a very tight squeeze. Wow. You're doing a good job, Bob. Man. I hope you're taking a deep breath. Between Bob's and our RV is not very much.
Okay, here we go. We're moving out from shore. This is the only view I can do is from inside the, we are now moving out into the river. We're starting our turn. The driver has to stay inside the car, the vehicle. And we're slowly turning so we can start heading upstream, and we should get about a 45-degree angle to the current as we go across. And that's our landing area. It was a slight interruption as the deckhand gave us a map of the city and a map to the gold fields. There is still gold mining going on up in here. That's the ramp we're going to go, and again it's a matter of just driving the ferry boat right up onto the shoreline and dropping the ramp down. Okay, note about Dawson City. Jack London lived here and did a lot of his writing while here, and Robert Louis Service, a lot of people don't know about him, but he is a famous poet. Wrote poems like The Face on the Barroom Floor and The Night on the Marge of Lake Barge. I Cremated Sam McGee. Anyway, we're looking forward to spending a couple nights here.
Okay, we are docking here on the sandbar. And then let's a passenger car next to us go first. Okay, we were told we had to mate. Bob has to move to the left. He has to go to the left. And now we can go. Thank you. Your parking brake is off?
Yep.
Ho-ho is on?
Yep.
Thank you. Ooh, yippee, we made it. No, we're not quite off yet. Oh, where? Okay, here comes Bob. Slowly but surely. Up, there's a deep bump. He hasn't quite made it yet. Yep, he landed. Mr. Lucky landed.
Down below here is an edge of Dawson City. Dawson City is down below these trees, so we can't get a picture of Dawson City. But the river is about 4,000 miles long and very pretty. Muddy down here, or mainly from glacier runoff. Now, out in the distance here, right there, is the road coming in from Top of the World Highway down to the ferry boat that we took across. Alright, now what I'm taking a picture of, you'll see the dark area alongside the river. Well, that's a river also, and that is the Klondike River coming into the Yukon River. And you can see, if I zoom up there, the water is quite clear, and then it comes into the Yukon, which is dark brown from sediment, and it slowly gets smaller and smaller. Let's see if I can back this off a little bit. Until finally it disappears. So the clear water disappears into the muddy water.
The Cremation of Sam McGee by Robert Service. There are strange things done 'neath the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake LaBarge that I cremated Sam McGee. Now there's several verses to this, but Robert Service wrote a lot of poems about the North, and they're all quite funny. Dorothy and I actually discovered Fox Lake Campground 8 years ago, and we didn't get an opportunity to stay there at that time, but this year we made a point of staying there for 2 nights. Had a wonderful time. We're in Fox Lake, 9 o'clock at night. I'm in the shadow of the trees, but I'm going to walk out and I'm going to go take you to a jam session. Okay, alongside the shoreline, 36 spots for RVs, but a great deal more down by the Lake K. On the other side of the travel trailer there is about 40 people playing guitars.
They're like stars in his eyes, filled with dreams in his head. Oh, I've tried, and I've tried, and I've tried. Sonny, don't go away. I am here all alone. And your daddy's the same, but he never comes home.
is a restless wind, a restless wind that yearns to wander, and he was born the next of kin, the next of kin to the wayward wind. In a lonely shack by a railroad track, he spent his younger days, and I guess the sound of the outward bound made him a slave to his wandering ways. And the way
Alright, we're on our way into Skagway, and this is the train that goes out of Skagway up to Carcross and back. It's a daily trip. It's on a narrow gauge railroad. I don't know how much it is, but it is very picturesque to drive. But we're driving the cars right along almost the same route anyway. There are two ladies. Okay, it's just starting up here. Let's see if we can put it all the way out. There we go. Starting to pick up a little speed.
We're moving south now through British Columbia Highway 37, headed towards Stewart, BC, and Hyder, Alaska. The last visit into Alaska on the trip. Dorothea took a picture of me by shooting into the rear vision mirror, and I'm standing between the trailer and the car, and I'm doing what I'm not about to tell you that I was doing. Now this was an exceptionally nice RV park, good internet connection, but also right on the edge of a lake full of wild trout. Now I have no idea why my wife likes me taking pictures of mushrooms, but here's a bunch of mushrooms. Also coming up is a picture of a martin, very tiny, a baby I would think, but a very cute little martin. This is Bear Glacier on the way into Stewart, British Columbia, and the border crossing into Hyder, Alaska. Hyder, Alaska is so small that there is no official U.S. border checkpoint driving from Canada into Alaska. The town is so small that it uses Canadian currency, and there is no gas station there. You have to go over onto the British side. Anyway, what is unique about Hyder, Alaska is the bear observation area. Wait and see.
doing underneath.
Oh, I got him with the fish. all four of them in there.
Now, do you take extra gasoline with you on an ATV if you're going for hiking?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
Are you filming this, Joe?
I am right now.
Oh, good. Yeah, I can remember this.
I don't know how smooth I can hold the deal, but we can cut it all out, whatever's not usable. Somebody get car sick watching my movie.
This is Bob and Joyce's dog Sebastian, and we're playing in the snow, and we now call Sebastian the Glacier Dog.
Alright, this is the Salmon Glacier, and we're at the toe. We can't see the toe, the tip of it, the front of it, but it is a gorgeous picture. Let's get a full screen full here, and then let's see if we can't look at the crevices. The lines, how the ice has moved. Alright, we've gone an extra 5 miles down the road past the Salmon Glacier, and there's more glaciers down the road. It's interesting down here where these fields have broken up. Let's see if we can get in here and get pictures of this. Yeah, it's broken up. Fascinating.
All day I faced a barren waste without the taste of water, cool water. Old Dan and I, with throats burnt dry and souls that cry for water, cool, clear water. Keep a moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's the devil, not a man, and he spread the burning sand with water. Dan, can you see that big green tree where they're running free, and it's waiting there for me and you? The nights are cool and I'm a fool, each star's a pool of water, cool water. But with the dawn I'll wake and yawn and carry on to water, cool, clear water. Keep a moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's the devil, not a man, and he spread the burning sand with water. Dan, can you see that big green tree where the water's running free, and it's waiting there for me and you? The shadows sway and seem to say, tonight we pray for water, cool water. And way up there he'll hear our prayer and show us where there's water, cool, clear water. Keep a moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's the devil, not a man, and he spread the burning sand with water. Dan, can you see that big green tree where the water's running free, and it's waiting there for me and you? Dan's feet are sore, he's yearning for just one thing more than water, cool water. Like me, I guess he'd like to rest where there's no quest for water, cool, clear water.
This is fireweed, and it's the state flower of Alaska. But when the bloom folds, it turns to what looks like almost cotton. Quite interesting as the change in seasons.
Yeah. We are at a construction site, and we were stopped for a while, and now they changed trucks to do different things. I think they put something down, and one truck goes and the other one goes. So we just watch. Well, the truck has turned, and we can follow him. In the meantime, there is that big, whatever this thing is, I don't know, makes a lot of smoke. Why, we pass all this big equipment here. And it smells. 2,900 feet. And here's the famous, the light at the end of the tunnel.
We will now take a break from this beautiful movie for a commercial. Each year, as Dorothy and I go on these RV trips, we pick out a color. It's called a card game, but we pick out a color on this card game, and each year we have to pick out a motorcycle, a bicycle, a truck, and a car. This year, the color was mint green. Now, in the past, we've had purple, and when we see a purple car, we no longer call it purple, we call it lavender. If we see an orange car, we had orange color one year, we call it tangerine. One year we had yellow, and whenever we see a yellow car or truck or whatever, we call it canary. So this year is mint green, and we're trying to come up with a color for next year, and what the heck are we going to call mint green when it's in the past? Anyway, we had a lot of fun. Instead of just a truck and a bicycle and a car and whatever, we just took pictures of anything that was in mint green. So this is our little commercial break from the movie, and we will return to the trip in just a moment as we enter back into the United States.
RV park in Florence, Oregon. And there's just a lot of people here and having a lot of fun. I shouldn't say potluck. Most of it was furnished by the RV park. Let's see here. They had a buffet line in here. And everybody sitting at tables and thoroughly enjoying themselves.
There's one guy in the RV park that is a clammer. He goes out and digs up his own clams, brought them home, and made us clam chowder. It was delicious.
Water is coming out right through the lava tube in the face of the fall. Through the rock. As far as I can get away from it. And down into a beautiful pool.
Top of old Smoky, all covered with snow, I lost my true lover for courting too slow. For courting's a pleasure and parting is grief, but a false-hearted lover is worse than a thief. For a thief will just rob you and take all you have, but a false-hearted lover will lead you to the grave, and the grave will decay you and turn you to dust. Not a girl in 100 a poor boy can trust. Not a girl in 100.
Bob? Thank you. Thanks.
Sounds too blue to fly. The midnight train is whining low. I'm so lonesome I could cry. I've never seen a night so long when time goes crawling by. The moon just went behind a cloud to hide its face and cry. I ever see a robin weep when leaves begin to die.
the will to live. I'm so lonesome I could cry. The silent flow of falling star lights up a purple sky. And as I wonder where you are, I'm so lonesome I could cry. I'm so lonesome I could cry.
His hair all over and not
You
nice.
may be joking, but her mother may not let her touch it.
Oh, that's right. Oh, this is fried chicken.
Weddings for what?
Weddings are funerals, she says.
I can sing Amazing Grace.
That was a good movie, the Weddings and Funerals thing.
Yeah, oh yeah. Weddings and funerals.
Yeah, 3 weddings and a funeral.
We're not started yet, are we?
Uh-huh.
You what? We are?
Yeah.
Come on, boy. Let's get going.
Well, for my first song tonight.
Yeah.
And a happy one.
No, the same way. Don't you think Red River Valley's happy?
Yeah, that's a fine one, yeah. But not the other one was my lost love or whatever.
From this valley you are going, I will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. For they say you are taking the sunshine that will brighten the path for a while. Come and sit by my side if you love me. My hasten to bid me adieu. For they say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened our path for a while. Come and sit by my side if you love me. My hasten to bid me adieu. But remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy that loved you so true. I had promised you, darling, that never will a word from my lips towards you be. In my life it will be yours forever. If you only will love me again, come and sit by my side if you love me. My hasten to bid me adieu. But remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy that loved you so true.
How's that?
Very good.
Did you hear what I did?
Good. I'm so proud of you to do that.
Oh, yeah, but it was wrong.
No, you did great.